According to breakthetwitch.com, minimalism is all about owning only what adds value and meaning to your life, as well as the lives of the people you care about, and removing the rest. It's about removing the clutter and using your time and energy for the things that remain, for we only have a certain amount of energy, time, and space in our lives. In December 2022, I was at home sick for a week. I was at the lowest point of my life. Not only was I sick, I was extremely depressed, hopeless, and lost. Naturally, I sulked in bed on YouTube for a week straight. I came across minimalism content. I watched YouTubers like Malama Life, Simple Happy Zen, A to Zen Life, Ali Marie, and many others. I was obsessed with watching people declutter their entire home and clean all of a sudden. I kid you not, I might have watched 20 different closet declutters. I even ended up watching the Minimalist Less Is Now documentary on Netflix and the entire Tidying Up with Marie Kondo series. I had realized that minimalism fit into my life all along, as it was then, in its own way. But I wanted to fit my life into minimalism better. I wanted to create my own definition of it, of how it would encapsulate my life, of how I would take control of my life back into my own hands. All of a sudden, I didn't feel lost anymore. Hope sparked my soul, a small spark that I held onto and had been longing to feel again. I felt a purpose within again, a goal to reach, a way of living I wanted to achieve. I wasn't going to stop until I reached it. Fast forward, it is now a year from then. It is December 2023, and I would have never guessed that my life would play out as it did. I have stuck to my minimalism goals and tried my best to live fully within its lifestyle. I can say with full confidence that this outlook has changed my life for the better. It has saved my life. I would like to start off by pointing out my personal vision for taking up minimalism. Why I started and the goals I had going into my first year. I took up minimalism because it gave me a new and clear purpose in life. I felt like I was lost before. Who am I really? How do I want to live my life? Though my life does not revolve around minimalism alone, I would say it is the best all-around word to describe how I want to live my life, go about my decisions, and is now a part of who I am to my core. Minimalism to me is exactly how breakthetwitch.com explained it. It is all about owning only what provides value and meaning to your life and removing the rest. Our time, energy, and space is limited, precious, and should be prioritized and poured into with purpose, intent, and only the highest quality of what we can provide for ourselves. Living by this has made me realize the unnecessary clutter in my life, from items I possess to relationships to little everyday things that take up extra time that don't deserve that much of my energy. Before I really knew what minimalism was, I was very careful with where I put my time into. I didn't hold on to a lot of unnecessary relationships and wasn't easily swayed by consumerism, but I still held on to a lot of items, stressed over little things by spreading my energy so thin, and definitely had flaws in where I prioritized my time. For a bit of context, before the new year, I decided that the word of the year for 2023 would be free. My personal vision in taking up minimalism was to free myself. I wanted to finally free myself of everything holding me back from reaching my highest self. I knew that I had so much potential for my work, for growth, for love, for happiness. I had been so sad and depressed because I had been restricted, traumatized by my past, and grieving many losses I had endured. I had been holding myself back for so long, and something within me knew that minimalism would do more than declutter my life physically and digitally, but mentally and emotionally. It would help me find my way back to myself again. In my first year of minimalism, I had set out some goals for myself. I wanted to declutter my entire wardrobe, digital spaces, kitchen, bathroom, office, miscellaneous, shoes, accessories. I wanted to be better with consumerism temptations. I wanted to learn how to live more in the present moment and take in the simpler moments. I wanted to become well-versed in how to live in its lifestyle and how I can help others become more minimalistic in areas of their life, inspire others with my journey, lessen the weight of unnecessary and outgrown things in my life, and be completely real and honest with how I am handling the journey. I can confidently say that I have accomplished every one of these goals this year, and I am extremely proud of myself for that. When I first started decluttering my closet, I was so overwhelmed. I had so much clothes, literally like 500 pieces. I don't even know how I ended up with that much. It just kind of piled up after years and years of hoarding and not letting go. While decluttering my closet, I cried so many times off camera. I was in a really bad place, of course, but I also felt like it would never end. And I knew that the plans that I had going forward would be so much work. I would have so much work to put into, and so much cleaning and organizing. Just felt like it would never end and I would never get to the place that I wanted to get to. But after finally finishing and wrapping up that closet declutter video, I felt so accomplished. I finally saw the results, and though it wasn't exactly where I wanted to be, it was a start. It was the beginning of this beautiful journey, and that's all that matters. For those who don't know, I started my channel back up again in May of 2023 with a decluttering series where I decluttered every area of my life. It was so much fun to film because it felt like a mission I was on. I had always cleaned and organized in my life, but never like this before. I was asking myself questions like, does this really make me happy? Does this item provide value in my life? Do I really use this specific thing often, or is it just a sentimental attachment? It made me realize how much control I truly had over my life and how I never tapped into that control until now. I always felt that the things in my life that I owned somehow owned me, causing me stress to upkeep, move around, organize. I realized I had an attachment to so many unnecessary things. I realized through that series that I would not let anything or anyone take control of my life ever again. Through minimalism and just self-work in general, I have become so much more selective with where and who I spend my time with. I have realized my worth and where it is necessary to pour my energy. I value my time and live more in the present moment. I have higher standards for relationships and let go of those ties if they are not being met. I don't compromise my way of living and how I want to go about my life anymore. I live by my values, morals, and integrity. I let go of many physical possessions. I'm talking about like 20 boxes and bags. My very first decluttering video has over 50,000 views and over 20,000 in its first month. I have inspired thousands of people with my decluttering series, minimalism videos, and raw and authentic content. I started with almost 500 items of clothing and decluttered over 300. All in all, I've decluttered hundreds of things in my possession over the past year. I have learned how to let go of what is not serving me anymore. I have even inspired friends and people who I have not talked to in years to declutter their lives, be more vulnerable, and take up simpler living that brings them to their higher selves. It has been a win-win for all, and that is all that I could ever ask for. Within this journey, I've learned so much about myself. I realized so much of my potential and how much I was holding myself back all along. I have truly learned to free myself from myself, my past traumas, and future anxieties. I have freed myself from everything holding me back in life. I have so much more progress to make in order to become the person I want to be, but I've never felt more of who I'm meant to be than right now. I owe so much to minimalism for that and for what it has taught me. I am a better person who treats themselves and others better, who loves harder, and who lives with more intent. In 2024, I aim to become even better than 2023. I definitely want to revamp my wardrobes, curate one that makes me feel good and complements my true style. I want to declutter even more, to try and practice more simple living. I want to live more in the present moment, continue to inspire, and more. I want to thank you all for watching and supporting my content, especially my minimalism journey. For those who have stayed since the beginning, and those who have held my heart and continued to love me as I went through the changes I went through this year due to the difficult decisions I made to free myself. This is hardly the end, only the beginning. Here's to another year of minimalism and of growth. I love you guys, and I will see you in 2024.